Hi, I'm Amar Mangrulkar. I'm a music composer. I compose music for ad films, for web series, for movies. So, in short, I'm a media composer. So, did I plan to become a composer or plan to get into this line at all professionally? Not at all. In fact, I'm pretty much an accidental composer. You see, the twist in my life took place many years ago when I joined Ogilvy and Mehta Advertising after I finished my MBA. And I happened to be in the music studio when music was being composed for one of my clients' films. And what I saw there just blew my mind. The way music was being imagined against film, I knew something had changed that day. The joy that I felt, the love that I felt for music, which I felt when I was a kid as a 6-year-old, that all came gushing back. And I knew that day that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in an office. I wanted to be in a music studio. That's how I saw my life. So sure enough, 6 months later, I quit and I said, I want to now compose music for ad films. So I was 30 years at that point in time, 30-year-old. 23 years later, I stand before you. So, thank you. So over the years, I've scored music for tons of ad films, different styles, different genres, different emotions. We as media composers, we're used to having anything and everything being thrown at us. And we're supposed to crack it musically, at breakneck speed. We're always under the pump, deadline, deadline, deadline. That's our life. So I'm going to show you two examples, two films, both very contrasting in style, different in genre. One is out and out humor, the other is all heart. Take a look.
Magamasa. Sa 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 sa, gadha magamasa. Magamaga sa sa magama magada da da magabada ni ni sa 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 ni sa sa sa. Saragale. Magada ni.
Center fruit, कैसी जीभ लपलपाई।
हर रोज इतनी प्रैक्टिस करके क्या फायदा? बार बार वही हो रहा है। आज हम 5वां मैच हारे। छोड़ देता हूँ ये कोच।
तू कल से नो कोच। चल। अरे नो बॉल। कल से नो बॉल। डंडा गोल। कोच आई वांट टू। क्योंकि फिर से मैच हार गए ना।
तो क्या हुआ? आज आखिरी मैच थोड़ी ना था।
हाँ फिर कोचिंग क्यों छोड़ रहे हो? आज हारे हैं तो कल जीत भी तो सकते हैं। कल 9 बजे प्रैक्टिस।
5:30 बजे।
हार को हराने में अगर दाग लग जाए
5:30
तो दाग अच्छे हैं। सर्फ एक्सेल, दाग अच्छे हैं।
So as you can see, we wear different hats every day. One day it's drama, one day it's humor, one day it's all heart, it's all emotion. So as media composers, like I said, anything's thrown at us and we are supposed to deliver. So anyway, in 2014, then my tryst with long format began, which is web series and movies. And these are some of the projects that I worked on. Hasee to Phasee in 2014. I composed the background score for this. Thank you. You know this one. This happened in 2016. And you certainly know this one.
Saga, 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 re ma, re ma, re ma, re ma, ga pa, ga pa, ga pa, ga pa, ma da, ma da, ma da.
For obvious reasons, right? Okay, saved by the bell, actually. Cool. So then, Loot Case followed in 2020. I had a song in this. Then a delightful show called Taj Mahal 1989 on Netflix. I scored the entire background music for this one. In 2021 came a pulp fiction thriller called Haseen Dillruba. I composed the background score for this one. And I even received a Filmfare nomination for the same. Thank you. Yeah, so at this point in my juncture, in this juncture in my career, I can't help but wonder, is there something that I didn't do that I could have done better to make my journey more efficient? Could I have made it any smoother? Because there are highs and there are lows and there are periods of uncertainty in between, you know. Was I so much of an artist that in my head I stayed in my bubble, in my dream world, that I didn't plan enough or I didn't plan at all? And if my younger self were in the audience today, what would I tell him? If he wanted to follow his heart, what would I tell him? So essentially two things. And I'm going to keep this really simple so that you get the spirit of it. One, acknowledge that it's a business. Okay? Tell yourself that you're in the business of. And what do I mean by that? Just pay attention to how this sounds. Yeah? I'm a chef. I'm in the culinary business. I'm an actor. I'm in showbiz, or I'm in the business of films. I'm a musician. I'm in the music business. You see how it lands on the ear? Very differently. It's a shift in perception. So by just saying that you're in the business of, what have we done? We've thrown a wider safety net. We've broadened the scope of activities that you can do within the field that you're actually passionate about. And therefore, you've given yourself a bigger chance of success. Yeah? So acknowledge that it's a business. When you acknowledge that it's a business, what happens? The entrepreneur in you kicks in. And what does the entrepreneur do? He keeps a tab on his strengths and weaknesses. He has a pulse on trends. He networks more. He, at some point in time, forms a team of like-minded people. He tries different things, sees what works, what doesn't, what could work in the future, and he isn't afraid to fail. When you don't acknowledge that it's a business, you remain the artist and the dreamer. So what does the dreamer do? He gets a job, pours his heart into it, does a beautiful job of it, and then he waits for the next one. You see the difference? And at no point am I saying that the entrepreneur is any less of an artist. No, he's not. It's just that he's chosen to be conscious of the fact that it's also a business. So let's take this further. See these numbers on the screen, 21, 35, 50. Again, just broad benchmarks. You will graduate when you're 21. Let's say some of you all throw yourself in the field of whatever you're passionate about. You want to follow your heart and you've thrown yourself in it. Give yourself 10 years to get in. That's the time it's going to take to understand the industry, get your feet in, get some skills, hone them. By 35, you will hit a sweet spot. At 35, sow the seeds of a business idea. And what do I mean by that? Again, another simple example. Let's say you're an actor, and at 35, 40, when you're established and you're a name, start a production company with like-minded people so that you can produce content that you believe in. Right? So what's happened? You've stretched yourself from just being an actor to a content creator, and all within the field that you're actually passionate about. Now let's get back to our entrepreneur and our dreamer. Between the two, who's likely to do this? The entrepreneur. Because see what happens. At 21, you graduate. At 35, you sow the seeds of an idea. By the time you're 50, the idea is up and running. It's established. And what happens? You have a second source of income. You have another field that's taken over, all within what you're passionate about. Between the two, it's likely that the entrepreneur's thought of this, the dreamer hasn't. So what does the dreamer do? He at 50 will probably still do what he did when he was 35, except he'll do it with more skill and with more experience. But then again, at his age, everything's changed. New trends, new people, there's a new way of doing things. So he has another challenge on his hand, which is the challenge to stay relevant. The entrepreneur, on the other hand, is more future-proof. So acknowledge that it's a business as much as it is a craft and an art. All right. The second thing that I want to talk about, nothing to do with business, more to do with your head and your heart, which is be kind to yourself. Okay? It's an off-beaten path that you wish to tread on. There are no ready jobs. You need to create your own space. It can be lonely and terrifying, especially in the beginning, and you are your own motivator. So be kind to yourself. And at no point in time should you compare your life with that of a batchmate, say, who's gone on to do an MBA and joined a large company. Your timeline of stability and success will be very different. So cut yourself some slack. Don't be hard on yourself. And don't do this alone. Have your friends and family rally with you. It's really important. Their support is crucial. At this point in time, your parents, later in life, your partners. Take them along. Take them along and journey with them. Following your heart can be a very, very fulfilling life, a life that you can call your own. Yes, luck does play an important part, for sure. Let's not deny that. To be at the right place, meet the right people at the right time, it all adds up. But if you're true to your passion, and if you hang in there, and at some point in time, if you let the entrepreneur kick in, I assure you, you'll make your own luck. All right, let's end with some music. So, the next, what I want to show you is a film from 2010. It's a jingle that's really special to me. You all know it. You've definitely seen it many times, year after year, in a new avatar. You probably even know the words. But what I want to show you is the original film on which it was composed. And this is the very first and original recording of that jingle. Take a look.
Have you felt silk lately? Rich, creamy, smooth, Cadbury Dairy Milk Silk.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a privilege.